Hello, and welcome to Elvis Fans Matter. And first of all, I want to say happy 4th of July to everybody, and hope everybody's enjoying themselves and safe. Today I couldn't catch the man eating chicken, but I did get the Rooster of Freedom and brought him with us and all. And so if he starts crowing during the middle of this, I'll slap him, because I'm the only one that does the crowing around here. No,
this is one
anyway.
of my collections, because if Danielle zoomed around, you can see I collect chickens from every place, all different countries, and always have. My whole kitchen is chickens.
First, I want to say that me and Joe went to see the new Elvis movie, and gee, all I can say right off first is I'm sure glad that they didn't invite us to the premiere, because I don't think I could have held my mouth shut.
Opinions.
I liked Austin Butler. I thought he done a good job. I liked Tom Hanks as playing the Colonel, except for the accent, but I looked over that. I tried to go into the movie, and I think I did, with a good positive attitude. And entertaining, it was. It was entertaining. But it also had so many faults and out of sequence, and made people look bad that shouldn't have. You can definitely tell who the consultants of the movie were. I mean, it's obvious. Now, the first thing I know people are going to say is, oh, well, he's just mad because he wasn't portrayed in the movie. Who cares? I surely don't. And this particular movie, I'm sure as hell glad I wouldn't. I hate to say it, but I'm probably going to pick this thing to death. And I am. First, I'm going to start at the very beginning. Now, if anybody thinks that Elvis's mama, Aunt Gladys, would let her son roam around down in Tupelo, in a black neighborhood at that time, and go into a tent and fetch religion, then boy, I tell you what, y'all come to my house, because I got some things I could sell y'all that you wouldn't believe. It's just not there. It also portrayed Elvis as, to me, now this is my opinion, that Elvis stole the black man's music. That's not true. That's not true at all. He listened to black men's music. He liked it, but he also liked a lot of other music. He liked country. He liked rhythm and blues and jazz to some degree, and gospel. And Elvis took this and blended it. He was his creator of his music, not anybody else. If you're gonna do it, do all of them, because it wasn't just one. I'm thinking that what they done this for is to draw a black audience. Well, Elvis had a lot of black artists that he liked, listened to, and really admired. But when Elvis went into a sound studio and all, they had claimed that old Rocket 88 was the first by whoever recorded it, and that was the start of rock and roll. Well, maybe some people believe that. I don't. First of all, why would Sam have to look for a new sound when he had already recorded what he thought was rock and roll? No, that don't work like it. They didn't have a sound when he first went in there. They had to work at it, and it wasn't just overnight. Oh golly, Elvis worked into it. They got to actually, in a way, about halfway clowning around. And Elvis got with an upbeat tempo with "That's All Right, Mama." And Sam immediately said, "Wait a minute, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Let's try this." And that's how it started. Just that simple, but it was Elvis's style. Only thing Elvis shook during that time was his leg. He's trying to stay with what he was focused on as far as his singing. And he never got out of that habit. In fact, he increased it. So, I hope that settles the part about Elvis not stealing the black man's music, because he didn't. But he did admire the black people's music. He listened to all kinds of music. And, from opera to whatever. It just didn't make any difference. If he liked it, he liked it. Had a lot of black artists, like Jackie Wilson, Fats Domino, golly, James Brown. I can name a lot of them. And all of them were, excellent. Now, getting back to the religious part of it. First of all, Aunt Gladys and Uncle Vernon took Elvis to church. It's about, not every, I don't know, every week, I can't say that, but they took him quite often. And that's where Elvis got his religion from. It wasn't, holy roly in a black church. I'm sorry, it just wasn't there. Where did these people get their information? Biopic, that's bio sick. My goodness. And, I wanted to so bad. I'd like to just sit back idly and not even, say anything about this movie, but I just can't, I cannot do that. And ask Jo how she felt about it. We kind of talked about it, and I thought, well, I don't want to run it down, because I know there's a whole lot of people out there that like it. But I wouldn't be honest with myself, and I wouldn't be honest in telling y'all, I liked the movie. I thought, it was Academy Award winning. Not with me. I'm sorry, it just is not there. That movie could have been done a whole lot better and never lost its style and everything that they portrayed as far as Colonel and Austin. You could take a lot of the other stuff that's out there without downing a lot of people in the movie. And if this is their way of saying, oh man, they got it right this time. If that's a legacy they want to leave for the younger generation of Elvis fans, then I tell you what, maybe I'm old-fashioned, I don't know, but I'd hate to become a star. To see somebody that depressed and that controlled, to hear these people tell it, that's just not, that's not leaving much of a impression on young fans to me. Entertaining, like I say, it was entertaining. I can say that, but maybe you want to jump in.
Well, I feel that they did not portray the Elvis we knew, or even the Colonel Parker. Billy knew Colonel Parker from 1955 or 56.
56 is when I first met him.
And I knew Colonel Parker, and he wasn't, to me in this movie, he acted so silly, ridiculous, and that was not Colonel Parker. I think Tom Hanks did a good job on what he was told and worked with. Thought Austin Butler did a great job. He was a little bit too jerky at times and didn't really catch the manner. But we saw it firsthand, and to me he did the best job of anybody that has portrayed Elvis. As far as portraying Elvis, that's not the Elvis that we knew. I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, they didn't get it right this time. The only thing they got right that it is making a fortune, and a lot of people are getting very wealthy, very rich off of it, which I think, to me, they betrayed Elvis. I don't think if Elvis were here today, I think he would be really pissed off that
You can't say that.
I said it, that he would go down in history to look like he was such a downer, such a down person. I understand, and I get it, that it was about Colonel and Elvis. Well, if it was about Colonel and Elvis, they should have left it with Colonel and Elvis and not added the little touches that certain people added into it to make themselves look so great, because Elvis's life didn't end in 1973. He didn't have the Lisa Marie in 1973. In fact, some of his happiest times, we were there, and to me, he was a happy person, an outgoing person, a fun-loving person. Where is it where he played in the snow at Graceland? He shot fireworks on 4th of July. We rode motorcycles. He had just constantly doing pranks and having fun. And I was disappointed in seeing him like down and mad all the time. And that's the way it came across to me. He wasn't like that. He I don't know. Like I said, I think he would be really pissed off. And to not mention, I mean, if you're going to mention anybody like the Memphis Mafia, mention them all. Mention Marty Lacker played a big part in Elvis's life. Marty was responsible for Elvis recording at American Studios, and there was no. Of course, they didn't have to mention American Studios, but they mentioned Red, Sonny, Billy, George, who was not Memphis Mafia, and Joe. Why on purpose leave Marty out? Why not just mention him? I mean, it hurt a lot of feelings. And like I said, I realized it was about Colonel and Elvis, which to me it wasn't even really just about that. It was about a lot of other things, and it looked like it was about let me have my final word and make it like this. The younger generation, if that's what they think, then they got Elvis all wrong. He'll go down in history, to me, in my opinion, as just somebody that was miserable from the time he was a little kid until he passed away. And that's just not how Elvis was. Would I go see the movie again? No. If I'd have known what it was like, I probably wouldn't have gone to see it the first time. But to see it, I mean, everybody has a different opinion. And if you loved it, we're not saying go see it. Go see it 100 times. It's just what you like. I didn't care for it. Like I said, the actors. I didn't care for the one that played Priscilla, the girl. I didn't think she did that great of a job, but I did think that Austin Butler was dynamic in what he had and what he was advised, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
For that character, I thought he did great. And as far as entertaining, it was not entertaining to me because we knew him, I guess, and it was like almost like an insult to his character to me. But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion.
A lot of you are, are don't feel bad towards you, especially those that that support Priscilla and Lisa, and I can understand your point of view. If you liked it, you liked it. I'm not taking that from you. That's. I'm just giving you
how we feel.
How I felt. I didn't like it, but then I don't know that I can ever get across to everybody, that how, to me how Elvis was. There'll never be, I don't think, a movie made that will include anything that I have to say or do with. First of all, the estate wouldn't allow it, nobody's going to pick it up because of the fact that they would be afraid that they would lose what
have to backtrack.
Yeah, well, what they'd lose from Graceland and the estate, as far as what they might want to do later.
Everything was so
fine,
they jumped around so much. Everything was so out of place and out of content or whatever. I don't know. It just on things that we know that happened, it just wasn't the same. And even with the Colonel and Elvis, and I won't go into all that, but
I am.
Well,
but I'm old. Look, folks, I'm gonna have to do this in probably 2 or 3 segments. I'd like to cover, all the bases that I think they totally missed, or how they portrayed certain people, and a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. We'll get into that, too, and I'll take it step by step as I see it.
And just know, this is just our opinion.
This is just our opinion, and
about what we lived and what we knew of. That's not to say that everybody, should have their own opinion, and we're not saying, we're just saying that's what we think.
And
because we've been asked.
Yeah,
several
we've been
times.
asked a lot of times, and at the time we hadn't seen the movie, and I can only relate to you how I feel, about it, and any other thing I'd be, lying to you and saying, and being phony, and I just don't. I don't want to be that way. If I lose a lot of Elvis fans because of this, then I'll just have to accept it. And
But if you,
as far as the ones, like I say, that are big, Lisa and Priscilla, and all that, just understand that this is just my opinion, and I'm not taking away from, or not trying to, taking away from the fact that, that that's his daughter and his ex-wife.
Ex-wife, yeah.
And I just got to tell it like I feel it, and that's it. That's it.
You know what bothered me too a lot is how they tried to bring Aunt Gladys across as a drunk.
Now I'm going to get into that.
And we'll get into that later.
That's a.
And Vernon as a hillbilly idiot, which
we'll get into all that on the next episode. But with this,
I want to say one thing though.
Okay.
I
do too.
We and the story. A lot of people have asked, well, did Elvis not give you one? Yes, and he did. We had in the very beginning, Elvis had given us TLCs and TCB. Everybody in his group had one. When Elvis passed away, and we had to move and support one teenager and one preteen, and we had no jobs and no money and no anything, because when you lived with Elvis, you didn't save. You didn't do that. It was all So we had to sell a lot of our possessions in order to take care of our family because we didn't ask anybody for help, and we felt it was our responsibility, and we had to sell a lot of our possessions as did a lot of the other guys.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that we had to sell that I cherished the most. And the Elvis fans, official Memphis Mafia fan club and worldwide fan club, they all got together and had Lowell Hayes to make these for us. Sherry Lacker, Angie Lacker took care of that for them. And we want to just say, you just don't know how precious. I never took my Elvis, the one Elvis gave me off, and don't know that I will this one, because this is just one of the nicest things that's ever been done. And I want to thank Marissa and Paul. They came from Canada to present these to us with Sherry and Angie, and all the people that contributed, and the ones that didn't get to contribute that wanted to. We love you too, just the same, every one of you. And just know how dear and what this means to us. It just touched our hearts. So and thank you so much.
Well, try to end it like that with a happy note, and like I say, we'll get around to other parts of the movie, and then after I've, what do they say? Let off my
frustration
and then all, then we'll quit talking about that and go to other things. But for today,
and just know this is just what we felt. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
And with that, I want to say, and
Elvis,
hope you understand, and don't abandon us just for our opinion, because we love all the Elvis fans. But
and we love
if you
Elvis.
Feel you have to, then we'll certainly understand. But with that, I just want to say, just remember,
Elvis fans matter.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.